Regular me is timid. Horny me shows off. What's the difference between regular you and horny you? What's up my fellow bro, so glad you could join me, Andrew, for another story time. Since you've made this far, can you like the video? It really helps out the channel. If you do, I'll send you some N95 face masks. No more jokes, it's story time. Non-horny me. You are funny and sweet. Horny me. Show me your duck and dick. Apparently I get a lot funnier when I'm horny, but it's not on purpose. So I guess that's a win. Where I put the cucumber. And obviously I put it in my mouth, not the fridge. My girlfriend still lies about why she never eats her cucumbers, and we end up throwing them out. A father walks in on his daughter masturbating with a cucumber. Oh god, that's disgusting, he says, I was going to eat that later, and now it's going to taste like cucumber. About 50 IQ points. I can go from college educated to caveman in less than 10 minutes. Regular me is shy, quiet, and awkward. Horny me is smooth AF, and 100% confident I can turn straight girls. That confidence is historically unfounded. Horny me does not care. I don't lube up the area between the two leather cushions of my couch when I'm not horny. Well, if you're into rimmin', it's only safe if you're swimmin'. But girl, don't sit on that couch cause I treat my objects like women. Regular me doesn't want to have children. Horny me never wants to pull out. Edited because apparently my comment was not clear enough. Regular me use Google and horny me use incognito. I also use incognito mode at work a lot. I'm a specialist teacher and I teach in my colleagues' classrooms. Using incognito means I don't have to log them out. Regular me can't stomach a Brussels sprout. Horny me eats ass. Man, I'll tell you what. If you told younger me that there's nothing in life I'd like more than eating a bunch of Brussels sprouts, I would have called you an idiot. But here we are, and I'm eating Brussels like 2 to 3 times a week. I've never had ass, though. Horny me can't identify criminally insane people. Maybe he wasn't as bad as I remember and I should reply this time. It's really just two horny people having the troubles. Explosion. Remember guys and gals, rub one out for clarity. Like, you shouldn't grocery shop while hungry, so don't sex shop while horny. Dicks are like cursed divining rods that'll lead you to every bad decision that led to your existence. Horny me believes he deserves a relationship. Regular me does not have such delusions. That's so interesting. I'm not a guy but was curious about the NSFW Reddit community, and a few mentioned they do it for the reason you mentioned above. NSFW dudes are crazy. They are lying to themselves and form a religion-like cult to help with their mental issues which do not stem from masturbating. They will tell you that suddenly females pay attention to them since they stopped masturbating, like dude no. These people have issues and self-diagnose them. Masturbating is beneficial for prostata health and that's a fact. Horny me has a lot more confidence to get what she wants. I think what women fail to realize is that confidence isn't needed. We will duck just about any woman who conducts themselves decently enough. First of all, the statement of women not needing confidence could not more clearly have been stated in jest. Also, I could not have more clearly typed out the exact words. I think what women fail to realize is that confidence isn't needed, which is about as opposite to saying that they need confidence as a statement can be. Thirdly, are you stoned or drunk? Horny me watches some weird crap, and regular me cries about it and feels like human garbage. Quick edit cause people think I'm serious. This was a joke, I watch normal boring porn. Yeah, I was gonna say something witty, but then your NSA guy, Bob, called me. Bob, and I think you're the only one who watches what you watch. You sick duck, get help. That is not what you're supposed to use a squash or. Horny me. Wow, being naked is great, love that. Normal me. Meh, body not sexy. Edit. I still like my body, I just feel way more comfortable naked when horny. Same here. I am a goddess. This body is fire. And then God, I gotta stop eating so many hot pockets. Ada. So some asshole hacked my account and posted another person's nudes after I made this comment. Sorry to disappoint everyone who saw that picture, that's not me. The Hot Pocket body does not look even remotely like that. The difference is about 3 inches. There are 2 types of penises, or peni. I don't know the plural of penis, to be honest. Those who don't change much in size, only in stiffness, and those who grow quite a lot. The first are already pretty normal sized when flaccid, but that's also more or less the size it has when erect. The second one can shrink to something like 4 inches or less when flaccid, but when erect is of usual size. Edit. I get it. It's called growers and showers. Second edit. It's less than 4 inches. I'm bad at guessing distances, and I'm used to the metric system. It's probably closer to 2 inches. Horny me drives 45 minutes to hook up with an overweight stranger from Tinder. Regular me cancels on my best friend because the thought of leaving the house seems like too much. Same, and I hate myself for it. There are weekends where I hardly get my ass up to go to that BBQ event we planned for weeks now. But driving almost an hour in the middle of the night, on a work day, to hook up with someone is 100% acceptable. It's all about learning to fight the dopamine autopilot. When your brain seeks dopamine, it wants it ASAP. A BBQ might not give you quick dopamine, so your brain is indifferent, but it knows sex is a source of heavy dopamine and will put aside priorities to get it. Being aware of it is a step, but it's extremely difficult, if not impossible, to fully control it. Horny me has the commitment and willpower I wish normal me had. Motivation is something that happens to come along, if you're lucky. Willpower is when you say duck motivation and do it anyway. What if you lack willpower and motivation? Edit. This was mostly a joke question, but there's some good advice in here all the same. I just want to say to everyone replying discipline without any explanation, that's not really helpful. You can't develop discipline without willpower either. Otherwise you'll just start trying to be disciplined and stop when it becomes inconvenient for you. But that's just my opinion, at least. The best advice people have answered is to basically start with small things that you do have the willpower motivation to accomplish and keep doing those things until you feel comfortable with them. Then gradually increase your workload to expand your limits. There is an extensive study done on the topic. You can read about it in Predictably Irrational, Chapter 6. Long story short, our brains go caveman mode when we're aroused, like me horny. Me smash. We make decisions that we deem dangerous or immoral when we were not horny. Edit. Since study does not sound like a lot of fun, they asked people to answer some questions on a computer while masturbating. Just to give an insight on the study. That raises an interesting point. This is why consent must be taught, as it is not something we biologically have ever waited for or respected. The joke about thinking with the wrong head isn't really a joke at all. As I'm sure this book points out, once you get to a certain state, rational thought becomes an afterthought while biological urges take over. Edit. As a follow-up, I always take issue with the oft-repeated claim that rape is never about sexual desire, it's about power. I think there's a huge difference between the guy that lurks in dark stairways to attack a stranger and a drunk college guy who has been worked up all night doesn't stop when a girl says no. The former may surely be about power or misogyny, but the latter is just horny and doesn't know better than to control his urges. I want to be clear. I am not making the distinction to say one is defensible, but rather stating that acknowledging the differences increases your chance of success at solving the problem. Horny me can fap to a piece of bread if I try hard enough. Horny me is the opposite. I have to find that one weird and special fap material that I have to have at that specific moment that also has to be different from all the other fap material I had watched tread whatever prior. Each more degenerate than the last. And horny me will spend hours finding. Back in tech school in Pensacola, I had a Mormon roommate. We had just finished watching the movie American Pie in the barracks and headed to the Chole. My roommate, being Mormon and inexperienced, asked, "So, does it really feel like warm apple pie?" I chuckled and said no, and he asked what it did feel like. We made it past the Salisbury Steaks and were at the dinner roll station. I grabbed 2 of those fluffy dinner rolls that are stuck together and dropped them on my plate. Once we sat down, I stabbed the conjoined rolls with my butter knife and wallowed out a hole in the side, then held it up. He stuck his finger in the bread, spreading open the hot spongy hole, and his eyes went wide. Later that week, in the bathroom trash can, I found a to-go container from the Chol, along with the remains of 4 mutilated dinner rolls and an empty single-serve tub of Land O'Lakes butter. I don't think you're alone, op. Thanks for watching. What did you think of the story time? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more story times.